Why MMA is not a complete martial art? It is not a complete martial art because you are limited by rules and many restrictions. In a survival situation on the street, sometimes you will have to face a opponent in many types of situations, a opponent with a knife or multiple attackers in every imaginable situation you can imagine, because MMA is a sport. They do not train to fight in every imaginable situation. For example, there was a case where a MMA fighter got stabbed to death from fighting a opponent with a knife many times because they only train for tournament fighting and they do not train to defend against weapons and knives and multiple attackers. There is one case where a MMA fighter gets stabbed to death. His opponent stabbed him about 30 times. I am not claiming it is not an effective fighting system. It is just not a complete fighting system. Remember, the word complete means complete, everything. Even though MMA, they train in all ranges, which is important. Fighting only has 4 ranges: the punching range, the clinching range, the kicking range, and the ground. You don't have to train in every type of martial art, but you must train in a art that covers each range. You have to be effective in fighting in all 4 ranges, or you are just wasting your time. For example, a Wing Chun Kung Fu guy who only trains to fight in one range, all the wrestler has to do is take him down, and most of the time, game over. But remember, training in all 4 ranges is not enough. You must train to defend against weapons and multiple attackers. And remember, in the street, there is no such thing as a fair fight, especially in a street situation where anything and everything goes. There is no referee, no time limit, no tapping out, and no quitting, and no rules or restrictions. This is combat at its purest form. It is okay to train for sport, but if you are interested in training for self-defense, especially in a street situation where your life may depend on it, yes, there is some MMA fighters that train to fight in sport, that also train to fight on the street, like Anderson Silver and GSP and John Jones. They are not just new school fighters, they also practice old school fighting. You must not limit yourself to just new school fighting or just old school fighting. I am from both schools. First of all, martial arts was first invented for self-defense and health benefits and exercise, not for sport. And remember, because of sports, it became very limited. For example, Taekwondo they practice today are not the real Taekwondo that was first invented for self-defense. On the battlefield, you could kick to the leg, knee, kick to the groin, punch to the face, and do anything you want. Now, the Taekwondo they use in the tournament, for example, Taekwondo they use in the Olympics, you can't punch to the face. You can only punch to the body, but you don't get too much points for punching to the body. You can kick to the head. You can kick to the body, but you are not allowed to kick to the leg. Some might argue that Taekwondo is not an effective art like Muay Thai, but you cannot say that because this is not the real Taekwondo. Also, you have to understand the guy who won in the tournament that has rules, he is not the best fighter in the world. He is the best fighter at adapting to those rules from the tournament. So the guy that wins in the martial arts sport match wins because he was the best at adapting to those rules. It doesn't mean if he fights the same opponent where anything goes in a fight that has no rules, he will win. Just one rule change can change the outcome of the fight. Bruce Lee once said, you cannot put two guys to fight and put rules, then claim one can beat the other, because they are not totally expressing himself. He believed martial arts is about freedom of expression. Rather you are a Bruce Lee fan or not, or you think he's just the actor, is not the point. The point is what he says is based on logic, and you cannot argue with logic. Now, I will share with you some of my personal secrets and insights into my martial arts training secrets. First, remember, the best martial arts is neither Kung Fu or Karate or Capoeira or whatever style. The best style is always the one you create for yourself. Creativity is the mother of all art forms. Creativity is not from the mind, it is from the soul. Also, everything a martial artist do must base on yin and yang. For example, the body must not be too hard or too soft. If your body is too hard, it will not be able to absorb the blow and you will get hurt easily. Also, flexibility helps to prevent injury. Also, when fighting, your body is kept loose, never tight. Just like the leaf on the tree, the leaf is kept loose so it can bend and adapt to the wind easily. A martial artist must have a deep understanding of nature and physics. Also, while kicking a target, not only must you put your whole body into the blow, you must also focus on going through the target. And if you are a grappler, do not just limit yourself to just BJJ or just wrestling. You must practice both types, and also do not just become a textbook fighter or grappler. You must create your own moves, or there is no point behind any of it. Focus like a cat, flexible like a cobra. The snake symbolizes strength through gentleness. Here I am intercepting the bat with my feet like a cobra. And always focus on being extraordinary in everything that you do. Never settle on being average in anything you do. Free your mind from limitations. Do not think you cannot be extraordinary in every range of fighting. This is limited thinking. Your brain is so extraordinary, powerful. You can be extraordinary like me. My boxing is extreme. My kicking is extreme. My grappling is extreme. Free your mind from the prison of limitations. Set yourself free like a bird leaves an open cage and fly out into the sky. True martial arts is about liberation of mind, body, and spirit. Remember, every person you meet is a salesperson. They all are trying to sell you something. They all are trying to sell you their truth. They all are trying to convince you of their truth. They all are like cult leaders. The goal is to get you to think for yourself so you can use your own reasoning. Remember, you are your own highest authority, and peace, light, and love, and true brotherhood. This is the new age of enlightenment. And thank you. And if you like this video, subscribe and hit the bell and leave a like if you want more videos like this one. Now we're going to end off this video by fighting our way out of here.
Here we go.